Okay, here's the myth. You're not going to like it, but here's the myth. God is preparing a man for you. Incorrect. Biblically speaking, the Bible says that God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. I'm going to let you sit on that for a couple seconds. God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. So the one God is preparing is you. You have to understand that God prepares you as a woman to come into the life of a man, to be a helpmate, to bring value into his life, to be able to allow him and encourage him to do what God has destined for him to do. But as a woman that is unprepared, what happens is instead of allowing the man to do what God has called him to do, you make it all about you. And you want the man to make you his God. It was never planned that way. As a woman, you need to align with your man, and both of you need to serve God, because that is what God ordained, for man and woman to join together and serve God.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11 in verse 8 and 9. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was a man created for the woman, but the woman for man. I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahushai is who the world inwardly calls Jesus the Christ. Rakakwadash is the Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, Lord, that they can continue to endure and be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching this word and believing this word in the same spirit, that they endure and be sincere. Shalom to the Akwatiyam that are believers of this faith and this truth, Lord, that you can continue to pursue to be a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. You know, it's beautiful what the lady has said. A lot of women feel that the Lord is making a man for her. You know, when you go to Sirach 41, it tells you that a man should choose his wife carefully, but a woman can get any man. You know, so coming in this thing, you know, a woman should be with a man that fears Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Because if a man don't fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai or diligently searching him, you know, the Lord is going to overthrow his house. Problems and situations is going to always happen. You know, that's one good thing about this truth. Even though, you know, the Jake, you know, the nigga Jake, you know, the woman on this side is very difficult. You know, a lot of them is not built in the faith. They got weaker over time, you know, and even the men, you know. But most men that is of this truth, you know, they can't deal with some of y'all women. And even if we is dealing with you, a lot of us allow certain things to happen and certain things to be, you know. Certain women that's of this truth, a lot of women is running their mouth on social media, you know. Even when it comes to teaching, you see they run their mouth in the comment section. And if they have a husband, when you go in the scriptures, a woman really should be paying attention to her husband teaching, you know, unless her husband guide her to a teacher or to a lesson, you know. But women is always under subjection and under authority and under the learning of their husband. You know, a man is the lead. And of course, a lot of us men think logically. A lot of us men have things that we want, you know, outside of a video game and all the other things. Men is gonna be attracted to whatever, you know, to women, right? And at the end of the day, you know, the Lord is creating the woman for the man. You know, some women, hey, on this side might be ugly or average, and they believe in the Lord. The Lord most likely made that for the brothers on this side that, you know, some of us touched a woman and now, you know, it's not an addiction. It's just some of us men don't want to go without having a woman on our side. You know, not saying on our side in our bed, but on our side just in general, or the caress or the smell of a woman, you know. And the Lord created you woman with beauty. Even on this side, some of y'all lost certain beauty or that glory or that honor, which is your hair, you know. But you know, the other attributes the Lord let you be a loving and silent woman, and you're good to look at, you know, either like I got a spirit of a Rachel, you know, a Susanna, a Esther, right? You got spiritual beauty. Hey, you might even have physical beauty. Some of us brothers might be blessed with a beautiful, fine woman, right? But then in some case, she might be lacking certain things on this side. She still might run her mouth. She might feel that her opinion matters even more, you know, depending if the man needs your opinion, or if he says something that made you feel a certain way, you explain, hey, nah, that made me feel a certain way. And, you know, he can fix it, or he can explain why he said or how he said it, you know. But the woman was created for the man, you know. And even more, if a woman is created for a man, a woman, you know, because she's the less vessel of faith, the less to do the actual work of the ministry, but she has her part in this ministry. You know, a woman, why is she even working or paying attention to the kids in the house? She's making sure she's working on her beauty, you know, not to be more beautiful than another woman. She's not trying to be more, trying to be jealous. She's trying to work on her attraction, you know, so that her man can always be attracted to her as an individual woman, you know. So she's going to maintain herself the more she get older, right? Because the more you get older, it's taken away from your youth, you know. So you're going to always work on your beauty. You're going to work on your desires that your man have for you. Maybe he might want you to be more natural, show your natural hair more. You're going to do the things that attract your man, you know, because those are things that attract your man. So you want to please your man. It's not just only a sexual thing. You want to please his imagination that he can have on you, or his thoughts, like when he look at you, you know. I got another one, you know, because I love talking about marriage, because marriage is an important thing, but a lot of us brothers don't get the chance to have marriage, you know. And even if we do have marriage, everybody's marriage is different, you know. Every woman don't come in this thing full loving and silent, but then you have moments where she is silent. She just probably got different type of, what they call it, different personalities, right? This is Proverbs 18:22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Lord Yahweh, right? So a man is finding a woman, you know. Now it could be a woman that could be that's into a man and might be like, hey, look, I'm interested in you, yo, the spirit is telling me. A woman might do that, but in most cases, a lot of women don't even understand on this side, marriage was supposed to be arranged, you know. And if a woman really was in, like, having a relationship with the Lord, not even just only face value, because I know we look at the attraction, but women on this side should be with a man that fears Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because then she has the best pick out of a lot of women. He might not be the top 5, and you're not gonna, no woman in the nation of Israel should be comparing another man to another man, especially as soon as that man put his rod in you. You know, he's the best looking man for you. Even more with this verse, Sirach chapter 27, verse 3. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord Yahweh, his house shall soon be overthrown. So imagine if the Lord is picking the Lord over you. He loves Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai more than you, the children, you know, the brotherhood. That's a man you want. And that's a, let's go to another classic. That goes into the attribute of the Lord. Through the Spirit, you looking at a man like the Lord did. You know, this is 1 Samuel chapter 16. You could read from verse 1 damn near down to 16 or to 15. But I'm going to read verse 7. It says, but the Lord Yahweh Shemashai said to Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord Yahweh Shemashai seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Now, I understand, you want to attract attractive man and a man. He want a beautiful woman, right? And in most cases on both sides, a woman, you're looking at a man's heart, how he moved for the Lord. And even a man, he's looking at the inward part. Is she willing to fear the Lord? Hey, even more, a man can pick his wife carefully. Maybe she might not have the full faith, because right away, where we at right now, a lot of us is dead. So it's kind of hard to know how a woman gonna be in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Sometimes it might take a woman 6, 8, 3 years to actually get in her lot. Maybe even 4, maybe even 5 years. But it's the simple fact, if you see a woman that's willing to be subjective unto you, listen. You know, if she willing to listen, you got one beautiful step, right? This is Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16. It says, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, right? You could look at her inward part and see that she's willing to have children. You know, if she's willing to have children, you know, or you could see yourself having children with her, you know, that's a good notion for yourself, my brother. You know, it says, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. If a woman is allowing you to lead, right, and your desire, she's accepted and she yielding to. Now, some things on this side, women will be combative and go against, but eventually, if you a solid man of the Lord in those attributes, hey, and if the Lord dealing with you, the Lord allow those things to happen. You know, all of us don't have the same luxury in everybody household. Everybody household different. Now, the Lord might bless brothers in this angle and that angle because the Lord seen fit that you can handle it, or the Lord put more responsibility in you because it would tame you in structure of discipline. You know, so that your mind is always active in knowing that you have to feed the sheep, knowing that you have to be productive in the Most High's truth, that the Lord will put a lot on your plate. You know, 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, the Lord won't put you in a certain type of temptation that you can't handle, but he gives you enough, you know? So we have to be thankful that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is analyzing us, you know, and he's given us the best, he's given us what fits us, you know? Again, every man is not the same, right? So even more, let me get a few more, then I'm gonna close, right? Because, you know, the Lord created Adam first, and, you know, on this side, we got it a lot twisted. You know, a lot of women will see a man of the Lord, oh yeah, he not good enough, because yes, they're looking for attraction, but Rebecca, Sarah, all of them, they didn't really have a choice, because in ancient times, you know, you were arranged. The father was like, hey, don't get a woman from this nation, but go over. So he could have chose this, but the spirit was like, hey, if you see a woman from the well, go talk to her. You know, a man should choose his wife carefully. You know, and on this side, and if a man is approaching you in his truth, a woman should really be thankful, because that's a spiritual covering. Because when Jacob trouble hit, a lot of those women in Isaiah 4 and 1 is going to go to a man that's not somebody that they was choosing in the world. Some of those women probably had a man that died in war or died in famine, because worse is going to come. And some women right now is entertaining a man, and the Lord might have mercy on them in the last days, and she might be your wife in the end, you know? So again, you know, marriage it starts with the man, because the man really leads, you know? And it starts with him abiding in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to bring that light into a woman's life. And some of y'all women got to be thankful that the Lord is giving you a man of the Lord, or giving you a man, especially if you have children. Yes, a man can have 4 or 5. I don't care if he got 10, right? But you as a woman, you don't, what made a woman even special back then, which is kind of hard for us to have that now, unless she's young or whatever, is a woman's virginity, right? Because that made a woman virtue, somewhat virtue, which is righteous, because she had her virginity. Now, how much more if a woman had her virginity and she was growing in the faith and she believed and she was going by the desire and the order of her husband? You know, that woman right there is a holographic special card right there. She is a spade of spades. She is, man, she's the best card in the deck, you know? And you can mold that woman, you know? But on this side, women need to be thankful that they even have a man of the Lord, you know? On this side, you know, because the Lord is bringing back that light and bringing back the lot of the men of the Lord. You know, to be a husband is a big role, just like being a prophet, a servant, an evangelist, a teacher, a bishop. You know, being a true servant of the Lord, those are 2 big positions, you know, because a husband has to be the head of the household. He has to order it, put discipline, and bring the Rakak Wadash in the household. You know, because if the man is abiding in the household and he's abiding with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the Lord is supping with that household. When you go into Revelations, the 3rd chapter, the Lord will knock on the door and he will sup with you. If the Lord is supping with a man or supping with an husband, guess what? The Lord is dealing with that household, you know? So all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. You know, all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. You see the title on the screen. It says, when a woman is ready to be a wife, she understands this, right? Because to be a wife is to really be a servant, because a woman means female servant. And to be a wife, you're catering to a man's needs and wants. Let alone when you have a child, now you become a servant of servants, which is them children. And to be a woman, it makes you more busy. In a society, a woman can have a job. So you can have a job, you could be a wife, and you could be a mother. Until the Lord come, you want to be busy. If you have a job, be busy with work, be busy being a wife, and be busy being a mother. You know, in most cases, a man is going to ask what he wants. And that makes you be more of a servant. Now, you can say, hey, what do you need? Hey, what do you want? Because that's a servant. Hey, can I get you more to drink? But even more, a servant is somebody in attention. Hey, I need to do this. Hey, I need you to rub my feet. Hey, I'm gonna need to blow your back. You know what I'm saying? Hey, whatever it may be, that woman is coming to attention. That makes a man feel even more love. A man's love is more logic. When somebody is listening to him, he knows he feels love, because love is an action. Love is a deed, which is the action, and in truth, you know, which in honesty, a woman would be less socialized with the world and being like people of the world. You know, a wife is she's gonna dabble with people that's single, but she's gonna be around people that is married, even though certain things a wife shouldn't talk about, because certain things you might have another woman don't have, and she might try to rub against you on how you says, how can you do that? You got to have discernment on what to talk about and what not to talk about. Then when you're around single women, eventually it rubs off that a single woman will have you doing single shit. You might start in your mind, the consciousness you see, she might be revealing and showing things. It might rub off on you. It's the same as a woman watching some of these dumb TV shows, the baddies, the Love and Hip Hop, certain things that these women do, spirit travels. And you can see how a woman talk back to her husband and this and that and that. And then you might pick up those attributes. You might see your mom doing it. And if you doing it, it's totally off, you know. And if a man don't see his mistake, or if a man is talking about something that he sees and he brings it to your eye and you bring up something else, that's just the spirit making you get in your emotions and feelings and not taking accountability. You know, in most cases, if a man is always in this word, he's going to be able to take correction through the spirit before you even say anything. Even if you say something, he already noticed and see it, and then let alone he might analyze, you know. But a man is supposed to still order his house, even if he slipped and make a mistake, or even if he's walking straight. Because a woman, you can't really correct him, you know. If the spirit reveals something, he's corrected through the spirit, or he correct himself and take accountability. He talks to the Lord, or he sharpen himself with a brother, where he might talk to a brother. But a woman is not gossiping about her household, because you're talking to a whole nother woman. Let alone when you go to another man and gossip, you know, that don't look right. You know what I'm saying? So a woman is using her man when it comes to authority, when it comes to the comfort and all those things. And most men might not be in your face all the time. He might do something different. He might be doing this for 30 days and then he might stop. He might do it every week and then stop. You cannot get on a man because he might change your flow. You know what I'm saying? This marriage is supposed to be longevity, and you can't argue about every little thing because you're still a servant, you know? And the man has the whole world on him, let alone his household. So you got to imagine the enemy is using you as a weapon towards your husband, even with them kids, you know, in society. So it's a lot. That's why the Lord puts a lot on the man, because the man can handle it more than a woman. So Lord willing, this is edifying, you know. Lord willing, this is edifying to the men that is married and to the woman that is married. Lord willing, that you continue to pursue in your lot, especially you women being a virtuous and loving and silent wife, and you men being a servant to the Lord and servants to your household by leading and dwelling with them according to knowledge, and in love, and in deed. And with that, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Shalom, Shalom.